Hello and welcome to the third video, which is all about being the greatest. And again, looking at our different options available to us. Now, this is a series of videos. I mean, you can look at the videos individually, that's absolutely fine. Or if you do want to, I'd recommend looking them one after the other. Now, if you haven't seen the other videos, just a quick introduction to myself. So my name is Shane, and basically I go up and down the country working with young people between the ages of 8 or 9 years old, right up to like 25 years old. I work in lots of different environments. So I work in schools, colleges, and universities in and around London, and basically up and down the country, delivering sessions. I'm really, really passionate about young people, and you guys facing challenges, overcoming challenges, and working towards your goal. Now, this video is designed for me to do a little bit of talking, and hopefully for you guys to do lots of different exercises, and to run through the different parts in there, because I don't believe in just speaking to people. I do believe actually the knowledge doesn't necessarily come from me. I can give you some ideas, but the knowledge actually comes from yourself. So what I would really recommend that you guys do is work through these videos, and pause the video, and then do the different exercises. It would be a bit weird, a bit odd, if I just sat there, with the screen on me for 5 minutes, not doing anything. So what I would do, I'm going to give you guys the exercise, and then I'm going to give you a few minutes to just complete it. Okay, so I'd recommend that you pause the video, okay, and work through the video bit by bit. So all you're going to need is a pen and paper. You need a few bits of paper and a pen, and we will crack through with the session. Brilliant. Wonderful. So I am going to share my screen with you. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, good stuff. So as I said before, my name is Shane, Shane Franklin. I'm founder and leader, lead trainer for an organisation that I've founded called SeeGarn. And SeeGarn is there to basically deliver workshops and training options for young people. So in case you haven't seen the other videos, so we are passionate about developing people and nurturing tomorrow's leaders. We do believe that young people, have the potential to go and change the world. And I don't know where you are watching this video, and what circumstances you're in. It has been a very interesting year this year, and let's not lie about it. It has been very interesting, but we do believe, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of where you are, you can go on and create whatever it is that you want to create. So we do lots of different learning and development training programs, and our key goal, our aim, is to equip people with skills needed for the modern world of work, and to support what we call emerging talent. So emerging talent would be, young people who may not have all of the qualifications, may not have a wealth of experience behind them, but they've got the enthusiasm and passion to go and create some change. So the pictures that you see there, unfortunately, COVID has restricted us this year. We've all been sort of in lockdown. So I am actually here at home recording these videos for you. But normally we do these, as I said before, these sessions in schools and colleges and youth groups. So those are some young people there that we have worked through in our session. Today, what are we going to be talking about? So we are going to be focusing about employment and academic options. So we're going to be talking about, jobs. So we're going to be talking about, school and college and what you can be doing to capitalize on that. We will be talking about linking your personal passion to your employment and academic options, because one of the things I often say is in my workshops is, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. It's quite simple as that. It's very, very important to love what you do. We spend thousands of hours every single year going to work. It's thousands of hours, and in our whole lifetime, I think it's about 85,000 hours of our life is spent at work. So I think it's important to do something you love. If you don't enjoy it, then what's the point of doing it? Lots of time, young people say to me, "Oh, they want to make money. You know, money's really important." And my ethos on that is do something that you love. If you do something you love, then the money will follow you. So we'll be talking about that, and then we're going to be talking about employability shield. So that is where the worksheet comes in. Get a bit of paper and a bit of pen, and you can work through the different sections. And at the end of this, you're going to have your own employability shield that will hopefully give you some information and a bit of guidance in terms of where you want to go. So, in terms of today, what are we going to be focusing on? First thing we're going to be focusing on is a little true or false. True or false. So, really, really simple. Just a little quiz to get us going. True or false? Adele. Everyone knows Adele. Well, I'm assuming everyone knows Adele. But Adele, obviously, I think she's a wonderful singer. She said every time she performs, she gets nervous. It is indeed true. It is indeed absolutely true. Okay, so Adele, she may come across as really confident. She's very much herself and very authentic. That's what I love about Adele. But she does say that she gets nervous every time she does perform. But she always says, be brave and fearless to know that even if you make the wrong decision, you're making it for a good reason. And I always think that the wrong decision is better than no decision. Lots of times we're faced with lots of different options. Should we do this? Should we not do this? So don't be afraid to make a decision. The most important thing you can do is actually make the decision. So lots of times we sit in the middle, we don't quite make a decision. So it's important to make that decision and think back to Adele. And even like myself, I've done thousands, literally thousands of these sessions. And every single time before I deliver one, I do get a little bit nervous. I do get a little bit nervous. So, but it's important, to tap back into yourself. What's the worst can happen? If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. But it's really important to give it a go. The next one is, if you haven't seen the other video, it is SeeGarn. So that is the name of the company that I founded. SeeGarn. The Chinese symbol means time in Chinese. What do you think? True or false? It is indeed actually true. So it does actually mean time. And time it's funny, I said this in the other video, that this year, it's one of the things that we have been given is time. We've been given time because unfortunately, we've been in lockdown and haven't been able to go where we want and see, the people that we want to see and do the things that we love. But we have been given time, and so I want you to sit and think, what have you done with that time? Have you capitalized on that time? Have you, you know, written a book? If not, have you drawn stuff? Have you baked? Have you played video games? What have you really done with your time? And think whether you've used it productively or not. And I do not mind being completely honest. There certainly were times where I've been really productive and it has been, great to spend time with my family. Equally, there were times where I could have used my time a little bit wisely. Okay, but we're all human. Today is not about us saying, well, you should have done this or you shouldn't have done that or beating each other up. It's just about being honest and true with where you are right now. So the next one, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, a bit of a controversial character. Conor McGregor, when he was young, he was working in plumbing and he started doing martial arts when he was just 4 years old. And when he was young, he said, I am going to be champion of the world when he was like 4 or 5 years old. It is false. It is absolutely false. So he didn't actually start training martial arts till quite late in his career. And he was a plumber. He did an apprenticeship as a plumber. He was training on the side, but then he thought, you know what, I'm actually going to give this a go. I'm going to give this a go. And he says, excellence is not a skill. It is an attitude. Okay, it is an attitude. And what I want you guys to start to think about is, what is your mental attitude? Okay, are you thinking, yes, I can do this, I'm on top of it, I'm going to be great at this, you have no fear whatsoever? Or are you actually thinking before you started a task that it's going to be difficult for me to do, I'm not going to be doing it, and talking yourself out of it before you've done it? If I have times when I doubt myself, and it's completely fine, for us at times to think, well, it's going to be difficult or have a bit of self-doubt. It's only natural for that to happen, but it's important to remember, okay, that excellent is not a skill, it's an attitude. Okay, so if you go into it with a positive mindset, you will get a positive outcome. Steve Jobs, so he said, you can connect the dots looking backwards, but you can't connect the dots looking forwards. So Steve Jobs founded Apple, created the MacBook, and obviously the iPhone, etc. So he said, you can connect the dots looking backwards, but you can't connect the dots looking forwards. True or false? It is indeed actually true. It is indeed actually true. He says sometimes life is going to hit you in the head with a brick, but don't lose faith. So at times, things may be really difficult. You might be thinking, oh, like this year, for example, COVID, I had so many plans, I was going to do so many things, but unfortunately they didn't happen. Okay, so, but don't lose faith. Okay, you can connect the dots backwards. So you can see, actually, I can see why in COVID this happened, that happened. As a result of that, this has taken me on to X. You can see why that happened. Okay, so you can connect the dots backwards, but you can't always connect the dots forwards. Okay, so I want you now to start to think. Okay, so pause this video, have a little think about what you have done in your life, something that's happened in your life in the past that's happened that you wasn't expected, and what you got as a result of that. So something that happened in the past as a result of it, okay, and something that you got as a result of that. So please pause the video and give that a go and write that down. Okay, brilliant. So I hope you had an opportunity to get that done. So for our next exercise, I'm going to share my screen with you again. There we go. Let me just check something to make sure. Yes, we are indeed actually recording. So we're going to go straight into the next exercise. So I want you to imagine right now, okay, right now, I was to give you £1 million. Okay, £1 million cash. Okay, my question is, what would you do with that £1 million and why? Okay, what would you do with that £1 million and why? And then the second question is, what is the best job in the world? Okay, what is the best job in the world and why? So the first question is, what would you do with £1 million? Second question is, what is the best job in the world and why? Now, what I want you to do is get a blank bit of paper and round the outside, write all the things in as much detail as what you would do with £1 million and why, and what the best job in the world is. Okay, so you'll pause the video, give yourself a minute to answer that question. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So I hope you've answered that question. And I bet if I was to have a look at that paper, I bet there would be something about buy a house, maybe buy a car, look after your family, go on holiday, have some gadgets, buy some gadgets, maybe start a business. I guarantee at least 3 of those things are in that list. Now, my question to you would be, why wait for someone to give you £1 million in order to go and do it? Why not do those things now? £1 million is a lot of money. If you give me £1 million right now, I think I would start to do the Carlton dance and would be obviously really happy that you give me that amount of money. But the things that you wrote down on that paper, if you really want to buy a house, if you really want to start a business, you want to treat your family, buy yourself some gadgets, buy some clothes, buy some trainers, save, invest, all of these things, okay, don't wait for someone to give you £1 million in order to start doing it. You can start to do it from now. You can open up a junior ISA account from when you're 7 years old just with £1. Okay, and I guarantee you, okay, if you start to put some money in that account with the interest, it will grow, and before you know it, you've got £10, you've got £100, you've got £1,000, then you'll have £10,000. Okay, and then before you know it, okay, you can start to think about investing and putting your money into things that you really, really want. Okay, the second question that I asked you was, what was the best job in the world? Okay, now for me, I don't think there is such a thing as the best job in the world. It doesn't exist. Okay, there's just the best job in the world for you. As I said earlier, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and you could be a lawyer, a doctor, an architect, a teacher. You could be driving a lorry for a living. You could be picking up rubbish outside. If you wake up every single day and you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Okay, so whatever that job is that you put down there, some of you may have put a footballer, a YouTuber, an actor, a singer, or whatever it is, musician. Okay, whatever you put down on there, okay, just think back to what it is that that job is and what that will bring for you. And it doesn't matter what that job is. Okay, if you go and do something that you love, you will never work a day in your life. Okay, food for thought. So what I want you to do next is I want you to write down something that you would like to achieve. I'm a big fan, and I did say in my previous sessions that I've recorded, I'm a big fan of journaling and writing things down. Okay, so what I want you to do is quite simply is to write down one thing you'd like to achieve, one company, or one thing that you'd like to be doing in the future. Okay, one thing. Okay, so hopefully you have completed that exercise and you've written down, uh, maybe it's a school, a college, a company, something you'd like to do in the future. So I'm going to share my screen around with you. Now, this is something I wrote down 6 years ago, and it says, John at Future Foundations, end of 2014, beginning of 2015, and summer. Fund of my bank, keep an eye on Facebook page and website. Now, at the end of the session, we will come back to sort of check something. We will come back to that, and I will show you what that did for me. Cool. So options. What I want you to do now is grab a pen and paper. So grab a pen and paper, and what I want you to do is list. So we've got self-employment / start a business, an apprenticeship, further education, do absolutely nothing. So you can be unemployed. You know, when you get to 18 years old, you leave school, you don't have to go into a job, you don't have to do an apprenticeship or do anything if you don't want to. And then I want to put down do full-time employment / training. So you've got 5 options there, 5 options. Now, what I want you to do is rank those options. So rank those options in terms of number 1, the first thing you'd like to do. So hopefully the first thing might be going to full-time or might be further education, number 1. Then number 2, full-time employment / training. Third thing might be an apprenticeship. The fourth thing might be self-employment, start a business. Hopefully the last on your list is do absolutely nothing at all. So what I want you to do is to list all of those points down. So again, self-employment, start a business, an apprenticeship, further education, do absolutely nothing, and full-time employment. So put those options down. Now, please, please, please pause this video because I'm going to go over to the next part, because it would be weird if I just sit here and wait for you to do that. So pause the video and we're going to go on to the next part. So you've got your different sections. Now, what I want you to do for each point is to put down what are the advantages. So, for example, if I said I want to go to university, the advantages are I'd get a degree, I'd meet new people, and potentially, you know, go and live in a new town or city from where I am. Disadvantages are I might miss my family and friends. Disadvantages are it costs a lot of money to go to university. Disadvantages are you may not want to go to university. You might not sure if you want to study. If you went for the university options, how long it will take to accomplish your goal. So on average, it takes about 3 years. It can take 4 years if you do a job placement at university, but on average, it takes 3 years to accomplish your goal of going to university and getting a degree. And the final one would be one sentence to sum up how you feel about this option. So it could be, I feel excited, I feel nervous, I feel worried. So advantages, disadvantages, how long it will take to accomplish your goal, and one sentence to sum up how you feel about that option. Please pause this video. I'm going to move on, but please pause this video, do that exercise, and we'll come back. Brilliant. So hopefully for each one, you have gone through the different options. And I often find writing things really, really helps. So, you may have had, 10 advantages of further education, 10 advantages for apprenticeship. If you were struggling to come up with advantages for anything, any one of those, I think that gives you an indication. So hopefully you do absolutely nothing at all, really, besides sleeping all day, which after COVID of this year, I think it goes to show us that actually we all need something to do. Hopefully you didn't have much down for doing nothing at all. But if you had a lot down for an apprenticeship, or for further education or full-time training, employment or training, it gives you an idea in terms of what it is you can do and areas in which you want to explore. Now, what I want you to do next, okay, is we're going to practice an elevator pitch, okay? Now, an elevator pitch would be you imagine, for example, you put down an apprenticeship. I'll change it. We said further education before. Let's say you said an apprenticeship. I want you to imagine that you go somewhere, you're in a building, a hotel, or you go somewhere with your family, and you go into a elevator, and the person who's responsible for hiring apprentices is actually in the elevator with you. Okay, he's in the elevator with you, or she, and you've got 30 seconds to pitch why you think you are right for that one apprenticeship opportunity that they have available. Okay, so some of the things you might want to talk about would be what you know about the company, why you want to do it, why you're the best person for it, and something else outside of the box. That something else could be, I noticed you did a post recently about mental health or mindfulness awareness or something around COVID, and it connected with me in this particular way. So something that's going to differentiate you from the crowd. Okay, again, please pause the video, give yourself 3-4 minutes to prepare your pitch, and then restart. Okay, cool. So hopefully you've got your pitch and you're ready to go. Okay, so we can imagine now you're going to go in an elevator, and I'm actually going to time it. Okay, you are going to have just 30 seconds. Okay, just 30 seconds to do your pitch to the person. Okay, so you're there in the lobby, you're walking around, you walk in, he or she is in front of you, and your 30 seconds starts now. Ten seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is time. So how do you feel? It may seem like that went really, really quickly, or you didn't have a lot of time. And often, lots of the time, in the previous video we spoke about first impressions, often you simply don't have the time. So it's really quick, 30-second pitch. If you didn't quite nail it that time, please go back, revisit it. You can do this over and over and over again, and you'll be surprised when you meet people how quickly that elevator pitch will come in handy. Just 30 seconds, okay, to pitch yourself to someone. Okay, Brilliant. So the next thing what I want you to do is grab a bit of paper, and I want you to draw a shield, and I want you to draw on those shields, break it into 4 quadrants, I believe they are called. The first one is, what option do I want? So going back to the options that we listed previously, what option do you want? Okay, so again, I would recommend pause the video, write it down. What option do you want? So is it full-time education, apprenticeship, start a business? What option do you want? Number 2, why am I choosing this option? Yeah, so why are you choosing this option? What is it about the apprenticeship that attracts you? Okay, pause the video, get that down. Number 3, how can my school/college help me? Okay, so you can get help in lots of different ways. How is your school or college going to help you? Okay, pause the video. The 4th one, what can I do to turn this goal into reality? Okay, so what can I do to turn this goal into a reality? So it can be anything from, I'm going to, check out the company online. I'm going to, see what they do. What can you do to turn this goal into reality? And then the 5th one is, what is your favorite quote? Okay, what is your favorite quote? Okay, lovely. So share my screen with you again. I hope you've got that down, okay, and you managed to work through that. Okay, so you've got, what option do I want? Why am I choosing this option? How can school or college help me? What can I do to turn this goal into reality? And number 5, your favorite quote. Now, please use that, and I think that'd be really good, okay, as your shield, as you're working towards your goal, for you to think exactly what it is you're working towards, and also a favorite little quote at the end to keep you motivated. Now, at the beginning, I took you back, okay, I spoke to you about something that I wrote down. So this is something that I wrote down, and this is a company that I work for now. And I basically wrote it down. So I freelance to this company. I have my business. I work for this company, and I wrote down I wanted to work for them. Now, this is a picture of me in China delivering some work with some young people a couple of years ago. And when I was in China, I managed to, have a wonderful look around and explore it. Now, when I wrote that down on the bit of paper, I had no idea where this was going to take me. Now, I hope whatever it is you've written down on the paper, it might take you to China, it might take you to further afield or to other wonderful things. But please keep that bit of paper, because it just goes to show, if you write this stuff down, okay, you create it in your mind, you write it down, it can happen. So with that, thank you very much. A little quote there: success begins with a state of mind. If you want success, start thinking of yourself as a success. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we have one more video to do as part of the series, and please feel free to have a look at that video and enjoy. Thank you.